All right. Hello, everyone. Magandang hapon. Welcome to Web Accessibility Philippines monthly meetup for this month. It's May 31st, 2024. Yeah. So, ang topic natin for this meetup is building an inclusive workplace, implementing accessibility in your organization. So, today, uh, we're joined by Rowena Calata from Cambridge University Press and Assessment. So, a few announcements lang bago tayo magsimula. So if you're not a member yet, meron tayong Facebook community for discussions related to accessibility, design, development, copy, and actually anything related. Search na lang yung Web Accessibility Philippines community or go to facebook.com/groups/WA11YPH or you can scan this QR code. Yeah. So meron din tayong Facebook page, of course, for news and other content about web accessibility. Search nyo lang din yung Web Accessibility Philippines or go to facebook.com/WA11YPH. You can also scan this QR code. Yeah. So we also encourage everyone to let us know kung ano yung topics ang interesting for you dito sa monthly meetup natin. So you can vote on possible topics or request ng topics na gusto nyo if it's not listed. You can go to webaccessibility.ph/topics or you can scan this QR code. Being a volunteer-run meetup, we acknowledge na meron kaming possible lapses in terms of accommodating everyone with accessibility needs. So if you require additional accommodations for you to access or participate in our meetups, please send us a message on Facebook or through our email, hello@webaccessibility.ph. If you're also interested in speaking or sharing anything about web accessibility, please send us an email also sa ating hello@webaccessibility.ph. So any level of experience in speaking or knowledge about accessibility is okay. It can be about your personal journey, experience, or learnings. So just like what we're doing today with Rowena. So, introduce ko lang yung organization or yung community natin as organizers of this meetup. Web Accessibility Philippines is a volunteer-run organization with focus on web accessibility for Filipinos by Filipinos. We provide consultations, trainings, web design and development services, accessibility audits, speaking engagements, and free webinars related to web accessibility. And through these webinars, we aim to empower anyone who creates content for the web to be able to do it in a way that is inclusive and accessible to everyone. So my name is Gerson, and with me is my co-founder, Kat Perez Juan, and of course our team members who are here or nandun sa Facebook community, si Rhea, si Noemi, si Jehan, Paolo, and si Sam. Yan, mga volunteers din sila dito sa community natin. So upcoming events, sa next month, yung ating next na meetup, the topic is going to be Web Accessibility Testing by Rhea Guntalilib. It's going to be on June 28, 2024. So every last Friday of the month talaga yung natin yung meetup. And then we're looking for participants to the upcoming Accessibility Internet Rally Competition or AIR competition. It's a global competition wherein web design teams create an accessible website for actual clients. So yung contest or yung competition runs from September to around mid-November. And nagbubuo kami ng team. We will represent Web Accessibility Philippines sa global stage na magka-create tayo ng accessible website. And it doesn't really matter kung expert ka sa web accessibility or aspiring ka pa lang na kumbaga ito yung pipiliin mo na journey in your career. Dito kasi kami kumbaga nagkaroon ng huge start talaga ni Kat when it comes to web accessibility. Kumbaga nag-join kami nito nung 2022 and nag-create kami ng accessible website for our client. Bali, magpo-provide sila ng client for us. And then we'll create the website for them. And it's going to be judged based on a specific set of criteria. And then, ayun, talagang dun tayo matututo. Hands-on ng web accessibility sa design, sa development, sa pag-test. Ayan. So it's a very hands-on ano talaga, competition. And yun, nanalo kami ni Kat, yung team namin in 2022.
Share
Ayan.
ko na rin na when we joined, zero knowledge ako. So wag kayong
Ah,
matakot. Yeah. So wala akong alam nung sumali kami
So
about
meron
web access.
meron tayong thread na sa community natin.
Yeah.
Pwede kayong mag-reply doon. Paki-paste na lang nung uh,
Yeah.
natin.
Nasa chat. Yes.
All right, thank you. Ayan. And then our featured guest for today, of course, without further ado, I'm introducing Rowena Calata, commonly known as Weng, as she is a dedicated member of the Digital Accessibility Champions and co-chair of the DAC Committee Network at Cambridge University Press and Assessment. And she has been with the company for 7 years and has been passionately advocating for accessibility in testing and development for the past 5 years. So today, we're going to discover kung ano yung steps ang ginawa at ginagawa nila to make Cambridge University Press and Assessment an organization that implements and advocates for accessibility. Ayan, so I'm gonna stop sharing and we're gonna chat with Weng.
So bago tayo mag-start with the discussion, gusto ko lang i-encourage everyone, so lahat na nasa Zoom and even those watching sa ating live sa Facebook groups, if you have any questions, type nyo lang dun sa chat and babasahin natin mamaya para kay Weng, no? Ayan. Sige. So, shall we start? Hi, Weng.
Hi, Weng.
Ayan.
Hello.
So, very quick lang, Weng. Can you quickly introduce yourself? Something na hindi namin nabanggit dun sa quick intro namin.
Okay. Siguro yung, ate, Tagalog po ba? Pero po
Yeah,
mag-Tagalog kayo.
sure. Yes.
Siguro po, something new. So, I just passed IAT CPAC exam. So, I took it last April 17 and I received the result last Wednesday. And yeah, fortunately, yeah, I'm happy because I passed. So, yeah, it's something that, yeah, nag-set din talaga ng ano, like in terms of credibility na, ayun, professional na talaga tayo, may papakita na parang gano'n. So, ayun.
Yes.
Yes. For everyone who's not aware, yung CPAC is a certification provided by an international authority sa accessibility, the International Association of Accessibility Professionals. So yung isang certification doon, which is yung CPAC or oh my God. Ano nga yan? Uh,
Certified professional.
Certified professional in
Ayan, go.
core competencies.
Ayan. Oh, di ba ang galing nila? Talagang dapat talagang alam mo yan kasi nakakapasa ka na eh. Ayan.
Ayan. Sige. So, I guess we can start, no? Our discussion. So, ayun, Weng. Pwede mo bang i-share kung um, ano or sino si Cambridge University Present Assessment and kung ano yung ginagawa nyo and then uh, what pushed your organization to go the accessibility path? Parang ganun. Bakit kaya pinili ng organization maging accessible? Yan.
Sure. So, previously, it's only Cambridge University Press, but we have this kind of merging from the Cambridge University and assessment. That's why it became Cambridge University Press and Assessment. So yeah, based on the page on our website, so we are a world leading academic publisher and assessment organization and part of the University of Cambridge. So we're driven by a simple mission to contribute to the society through the pursuit of education, learning, and research at the highest international levels of excellence. So I think in terms of pushing the organization with accessibility, as I've mentioned, we are in the line of education, learning, and research. So mostly our clients or yung nagbe-visit ng platforms namin are students, teachers, authors, editors. So there are different kinds of people, diba? And we don't know that if those people have disabilities. And our company as well is in the UK. So they are part of the European, one of the European countries that, as we all know, we have this yung law na they need to be compliant with. So I think that's a quick background for our organization.
Ayan. So dun sa initial process nyo, so nag-decide kayo na uh, to make your assets accessible. Can you walk us through the initial process? Ano yung mga first few steps na ginawa to make that possible?
Yeah, so maybe I can share the yung experience ko before specifically with our team. Um, I think for the past 5 years, we have this, we already have accessibility implemented. It's not that being prioritized by the team. So what we did is, we try to set up ano yung process na need namin gawin para makilala or ma-encourage namin yung iba namin kasama or iba namin teammates to implement or integrate accessibility. For example, with testing, since I'm one of the QEs, ganun. So, we try to build our skill set para in terms na may questions sila, kami yung isa ko dun sa magbibigay ng answers to them. Ganun. And we also try to communicate with one of our accessibility experts para i-align din kung ano yung needed within the organization. Siguro within our team, and then kung ano yung need mismo ng organization.
Anong klaseng mga trainings yung or certifications yung uh, in-implement niyo sa team para maging aware sila about accessibility?
Siguro, based on my experience, because sa team namin, isa rin ako sa unang nag-aral talaga in terms of accessibility. And nung time na yon, yung una kasing person na nag-handle ng accessibility is nag-resign that time. So, wala talaga akong resources. So, ayun, nag-google lang ako, accessibility. And then lumabas yung mga different, parang self-paced na, uh, parang mga courses like from edX. We have Introduction to Web Accessibility. And ayun nga, continuous collaboration dun sa accessibility expert namin na kung ano yung mga trainings na pwede kong maaral as someone na nag start pa lang din talaga. And siguro yung balik kasi yung mga free yun eh. And in terms of dun sa mga paid na pwedeng i-cover ng company, so I look into DQ University. So may mga list of webinars kasi sila dun na very interesting din like how to start with accessibility testing. I think yun yung unang webinar na na-attendan ko sa kanila. And I think yun din yung isa sa nag-push sa akin na is it, I think this is something na ano, I can excel sa team ko. Na ito yung ako nagiging pioneer in terms of accessibility testing. So, ayun.
Yun pa lang na-mention mo kanina na accessibility expert sa team nyo. Ano yun? UK-based siya?
Yes po. Bali, dalawa sila before, but yung isa kasi lumipat na ng ibang team. So, nag-iisa na lang siya and ano siya, accessibility developer. So, Ayun, bali natutunan ko lang din sa kanya, like basic checklist no. Nagkaroon ng isang audit yung isang team sa amin, like 5 years ago because that's the time na nag-start talaga ako with accessibility. And then, parang out of curiosity din na, ano bang ginagawa nito? Bakit kailangan namin ng ganito? Bakit kailangan ko i-check yung mga kulay? Pwedeng black and white lang na, parang ganun. So, dun din nagkaroon ng, like, nag-bloom yung curiosity ko na it is something na I can push din, like, with with my team and of course with my career. So, ay,
Alright. Ano yung naalala mo na ano, ah, yung top 3 na challenges sa accessibility pagdating dun sa ano, sa content ninyo ng websites or other digital assets?
siguro one of the challenges is in terms of the skill set. Kasi tulad nga po nung nabanggit ko kanina, new siya or bago siya sa team namin. So, wala rin talaga yung someone na pwede talaga namin matanungan if may need kaming, or may tanong kami dun sa isang functionality about accessibility, wala kaming mapagtanungan. So, in terms of skill set, medyo mababa pa talaga yung in terms of maturity ng team namin with accessibility testing. And next siguro na challenge is na deprioritize yung accessibility mismo. Like, parang ano lang siya, nice to have lang. Parang ganun lang siya before. Na nagiging cause na, kasi iniisip nila may misconception na mahal yung accessibility but not kailangan gawin, di ba? Parang ganun. Without them knowing na mas expensive siya once nakita na ng user yung application natin. So, I think those are yung mga internal challenges. But the good thing with the organization, with Cambridge, is very supportive sila in terms of um, with accessibility. Especially din sa team namin. Dun kung saan ako belong because if may mga naisip kami na tools, or for example, we have this challenge in terms of mga tools na kailangan namin for testing. So we just need to present it to them, and somehow if na-validate na it's good na may ganito, they'll provide it for us.
Okay, sorry, curious ako. Hindi ko alam kung nabanggit mo kanina or na-miss out ko lang. So yung accessibility, web accessibility initiative, it came from the organization itself. Parang sila ba yung nagsabing, oh, gawin na natin accessible to? Or was it from your group or your team or ikaw? Parang ganun.
Um, siguro po it's from the network kasi we have this network po within the organization. May iba't ibang networks like sustainability, environmental, parang eco warrior network. So we have this network for digital accessibility champions, which is recently lang din na mas nag-bloom and mas nakilala dahil pinush nga rin namin to sa organization na it is something na need ng organization na pahalagahan din, not just na because dahil nasa UK tayo and dapat maging compliant tayo, saka lang natin gagawin. So, we wanted uh, na parang within the organization, we give importance din in terms of accessibility with our digital products and of course with the physical environment within the University of Cambridge.
Is it safe to say na ano na yung initiative is because talagang it stemmed from social responsibility rather than compliance sa existing laws ng ano ng European Union or ng UK?
I think mas siguro through the initiatives din, pero um, I think through dun sa initiative from the network, mas mas naisip din ng organization na important siya, kaya they support it as well. Like we have like executive sponsors na if we have events like the GAD recently, and also if we have events like no in-invite namin si Miss Kat, they are supportive of it. So I think yung initiatives we try to bring it to the stakeholders or to the higher ups, and then they approve it if they find it helpful and like beneficiary or nagbe-benefit din yung organization.
Nung nag present yung sa ano, yung sa network ninyo, were there any resistance or objections from the stakeholders or yung sa ibang teams sa iba dun sa within the network? Meron bang mga ganon?
Siguro po in terms of dun sa pag-present with the stakeholders, since it's pretty new lang din po na naging co-chair ako dahil parang we try to assign new co-chairs po parang yearly, parang ganon. But I can say po with our team from, yeah, there's my colleague Noel. So I think we try to uh, wala naman nakita na any parang resistant or parang nag-objection with our stakeholders or dun sa mga higher management namin, because I think they believe that we wanted to make sure that we build accessible and inclusive digital platforms then within our team with academics, since we focus on the students, on the books or the products that we are providing and the services that we're giving to the users. So siguro po in terms po dun sa pinaka network po mismo, I think they have objections and or parang may mga questions siguro yung mga stakeholders kung paano masusustain or magiging consistent yung network mismo. Probably yun po yung mga questions po siguro with them. But ayun po.
Okay. So,
Um,
dun sige.
sorry. Follow up. So naging part ka ba nung presentation mismo? Ibig sabihin, were you there nung parang nilalaban nyo na this is a need? Parang ganun. And if yes, I'm curious kung ano yung mga points na pinresent nyo doon sa stakeholders to convince them na sige, okay fine, importante nga to. Parang you've made your point. Parang ganun. What are the things na binanggit nyo sa kanila that made them say yes?
I think in terms of the global network, I was not present because nag-start po kasi yung network. I think wala pa po ako. Yung po yung nabanggit ko na hindi siya priority that time, kaya po hindi siya nakilala. So like, I think 7 years ago, dun lang din I think, uh, part na po ata ako ng committee nung mas in-encourage na po namin na i-build talaga ng, parang may strong plan na po kami with the DAC. Pero kasi we have different roles din. Yung mga coaches po, which is hindi pa po ako co-chair nun. Sila po yung nakikipag-usap with the stakeholders at that time. So, kaya hindi rin po ako na-involved in terms how they really make sure na ma-approve ng stakeholders yung network mismo. But I can share siguro in terms dun sa small group or dun sa team ko na um, dun sa team na I belong. So, in terms of making sure na approve siya ng team, like yung mga processes na gusto kong i-implement sa team. So we present it with the manager. We present it sa manager namin. Ano yung bakit need namin to? Bakit need ng team in terms of testing? So, shinare ko yun sa kanila, and after that, we present it to the whole team para malaman din kung ano yung mga um, kung yung ano yung mga inputs nila and bakit need nilang matutunan, kasi in our team we have different teams, mga front end, back end. So obviously yung mga back end somehow wala naman silang, di naman nila kailangan, di ba? So, bakit kailangan kong i-present din sa kanila yung accessibility? So, yun siguro po yung in terms of small team na, kasi in the end naman, like, kahit sila naman po mismo, like, non-work related, they're still using accessibility and like mga tools to make um other apps accessible po, di ba? So, ayun po. I hope nasagot ko po yung tanong. Eh,
Go, Jerson.
Ano yung methods and tools na uh, pinaka-effective in integrating accessibility into your web design and development process?
when we say tools for like yung mga ginamit, for example, with testing, kung
Yeah.
ano po yung siguro po in terms of the tools, so we try to copy or use yung mga suggested tools na sinishare um ng WebAIM. Kasi parang doon lang din po kami nag-base kung ano yung basic checklist na pwede namin gamitin in terms of testing, like yung color contrast analyzer, and yung mga accessibility insights for web, apps dev tools. So, doon, yun yung masasabi ko na naging effective siya in terms of how we transfer yung knowledge na from gathering, from the trainings na na-attendan namin. So, when we present those tools sa mga teammates namin, doon namin na-share and napapractice din nila kung ano yung natutunan namin. So, in terms siguro po sa process, we try to talk with our like Scrum teams or dun sa part ng sa ibang ka-team namin like mga developers na ito yung mga tools din na ginagamit namin and kailan namin usually pine-perform yung accessibility testing. So probably they can do the accessibility testing then during unit testing and also with our POs, we try to communicate with them. Ito yung mga methods or process na gusto namin i-implement. And if okay sa kanila, we try to combine it all together para yung members ng development team, aware sila on those methods and tools na pina-perform ng QAs in terms of accessibility.
How was the reception pala sa sa mga designers and devs nyo nung minention nyo na ito may additional tools tayong dapat gamitin sa sa paggawa ng website?
I think sa mga developers namin, I think happy sila na may mga tools kami na share sa kanila. Kasi especially dun sa mga sites namin more on front end kasi. So they are required to use it then. And I think I would say like wala silang choice. Parang, parang ganun. Kasi syempre, paano nila matitest din yung, like in terms of color contrast if they're not gonna use those tools din po, di ba? And I think before we share those tools with them, we provided like basic checklists, like how QAs do the testing since they can use those as well during their unit testing. And ano yung mga mahalaga talaga na um like in terms of semantics, mga relationship with the HTML stuff. So I think it's new for them, but I think ito yun din yung mga bagay na need nilang pag-aralan as someone na belong sila dun sa organization na nagpapahalaga din talaga with accessibility.
Yung work pala ng team nyo, is it for the entire network? Yung gagawin kumbaga yung assignment sa team ninyo, is it for making all the digital assets sa buong network accessible or para lang sa dun sa uh, University Press and Assessment?
I think sa different websites or tools na across the university po. So, for example, with the project that I belong, so yung website namin or yung project namin is about online enrollment. So, yung mga devs namin, they make sure na accessible yung website po na yun. So, we also have different projects like Cambridge Core. That is more like online library that contains books, publications, journals, etc. And we have also e-readers. So different projects po kami within the organization. And may iba pa po mga teams like in terms of mga exams. So there are different teams and different projects din. So marami po kami. Parang ganun.
So, sobrang laki
And
talaga ng projects at saka ng mga teams. Kumbaga may iba-ibang teams na
Opo.
responsible for specific projects.
And then obviously lahat ng teams na yun, parang they have to apply and practice web accessibility sa mga product nila, whatever team they're handling.
Opo. I think one thing on our end is, for example, with my team, like from academic perspective, isa po kami sa nangunguna din in terms of accessibility. Like, for example, with other teams, so we try to assist them in building them and creating basic checklists since, as I've mentioned earlier, nagkaroon nga po na na-deprioritize yung accessibility for the past few years. So ngayon, somehow naghahabol sila to make those websites compliant then to the guidelines or to the rules. So, ayun, naghahabulan sila. So, kami, medyo stable kami, pero sila humahabol. Ganun. So, we try to help them as, yun nga po, as part din of the network dun sa DEC. So, we try to assist them to make sure na magiging compliant din and accessible yung website nila.
Curious ako, sorry,
Sige, sige.
sorry, Napaka- napaka-interesting ng topic. So, nagkakaroon ba kayo ng parang mga internal trainings, ganyan? So, for example, for the developers na medyo bago or sabi mo nga nahuhuli or dahil kayo yung mas advanced in terms of accessibility knowledge, do you have uh, internal trainings or parang more of binibigyan nyo lang sila ng checklist tas bahala na sila to uh, implement it, parang ganun.
Siguro po in terms of accessibility, sometimes isa po ako dun, and I also somehow train small group din po within a team. Tapos those people na na-train ko will somehow sila yung nag-share din from the other teams. So parang we have this internal trainings then like what are the basic checklist like living lang parang ano po ba? Tinutulungan lang din po namin sila i-build yung pwedeng processes and checklist na pwede nilang gamitin para magiging baseline po nila. Parang ganun. Para sila rin po mismo yung gagawa ng process nila. Kasi hindi naman po pwede na isip namin yung meron kami sa kanila kasi different team po sila. Ayan. Siguro in terms naman po sa development, we try to provide po yung mga helpful resources lang din kasi different na po kami sa kanila. Like, technical side na po kasi sila eh. Somehow, I can provide po, pero if may questions lang po sila, pero yung magbibigay po talaga ng training internally, it is something na we try to avoid kasi we wanted them to learn. Sila po mismo yung mag-aaral kasi we don't want na i-feed namin tapos darating yung time na nasasabihin nila na natutunan nila na parang way. For sure, dapat hindi naman galing like they need to learn it from the ano din yung pinaka nag-fit talaga or yung pinaka like sa guideline mismo ba kasi may mga masabi ako on my own under oops network unstable. Okay po ba yung internet ko? Baka may nagalaga.
Medyo
Medyo
nag-chat.
nag-choppy.
Ay,
Okay na
sorry
ngayon.
po.
Pero
So,
okay, gets naman.
siguro po like we just provide them the materials they needed. For example, with the developers, but with the QAs as we try to assist them po. Ganun.
Go, Jerson.
Nakalimutan ko yung tatanong ko kanina. Ah, sige. Ayun. Um, paano nga to? So I know na hindi natin makiklaim talaga na our websites or our online assets are 100% accessible. Pero siguro, would you be able to estimate kung yung work within the network is mga ilang percent na yung uh, mga na-achieve nyo na ano, based on your goal right now?
I think in terms, for example, with my team, lahat po ng websites namin under the academic technology team, nag-undergo na rin kami ng audit and may mga accreditation na rin po kami na level double A. So I think I can say there na above the threshold siguro kami. I cannot say really that the exact the measurement or the metrics because I'm not sure if we're allowed to say it. Yeah, because I tried to ask the previous culture of the network if alam nila. I think alam nila pero they are not sure if they're allowed to say it. Parang ganun po. Siguro confidential din. Pero in terms with our project, I can say na accessible talaga yung mga projects namin.
Hmm.
Ayun po. That's all I can say.
That's really good to know na especially ano kay university and kumbaga aside from beyond education yung yung scope ng ng services na pinoprovide niyo, hindi lang siya yung school lang talaga na so marami pang iba na mention mo nga kanina yung iba-ibang teams and services na pinoprovide niyo. So yeah. Sige. So sa ano naman, dun sa effectivity na nakikita nyo or na-measure nyo na brought about by web accessibility, ano yung I guess nakikita nyo na impact? And if meron kayong metrics on how you know na successful or maganda yung nagiging outcome ng accessibility efforts ninyo.
I think in terms of the metrics, as I've mentioned po, yun po yung hindi rin nila mabanggit po if ilang percentage, like how many users with disabilities are currently using our platforms at the moment. But I can say po like in terms of the impact, um, paano ko ba masasabi na parang we're in terms of maturity po, like our projects are matured po, like, and I think the organization then because I think wala pa naman kami nagiging lawsuit na hindi kami like we're not compliant with the guidelines ganon. So I think about this side of the topic of like the metrics or the terms of measurement. I cannot say parang I cannot say yung ibang details state kasi hindi po ako like nakakapag-talk din talaga with the stakeholders on discussing those matter. But the side siguro na making sure na accessible siya yung impact mismo sa users namin. For example, with my team, I think the users are happy po because based on the hotjar or yung sa mga nagbi-visit ng sites namin medyo mataas din and wala rin masyadong complaints din na they're having issues with accessibility that they cannot access it, something like that. So wala rin kami nare-receive from the customer service na may concerns sila with accessibility. So I think yun din siguro yung one way to make sure na we make sure na accessible and okay sa mga users yung website and yung mga platforms.
Yeah. I think yun yung isa sa ano din ng accessibility is you can't really measure by an accurate number yung yung impact niya no kasi unlike kung halimbawa i-compare mo sa analytics na talagang may exact number of visitors, kung ano yung bounce rate, kung ano yung conversion rate. So when it comes to accessibility, hindi talaga natin mame-measure yan. But I think yung the fact na wala kayong nai-receive na complaints, wala kayong nai-receive na lawsuits, maganda yung nakikita nyo na analytics dun sa tracker niyo. So I think indirectly that's one way na masasabi natin na maganda yung nagiging impact um, accessibility efforts within the organization. Ayan.
Sige. So, yeah. So, outside of web accessibility, meron pa bang ibang ways on how your organization support and practice accessibility like in physical spaces, yung mga ganun, or physical environments? Yeah. So, we're curious about that. Nawala ba ako?
I think in terms of physical,
Ayun.
hello.
Si Weng
Okay
yata
po.
ay nawala. Ako ba?
Naglalag
Ako
po
ba?
ba ako? Eh, hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hindi,
Yeah.
ako po ata.
Okay.
Ikaw. Ayan, unstable po ata yung connection ko. Wait lang.
Mm. Parang medyo okay na ngayon.
Okay na po ba?
Yeah, ngayon.
Ayan. Pero nakuha ko po yung question mo, Miss Kat. Siguro in terms of yung sa physical environment, because I've been in the UK like once. So, makikita rin po talaga natin like yung mga usual po like yung sa mga daan na if it's they provide na use with disabilities, yung mga may wheelchair, ganun. But I think within the organization po, like from the sa side namin, we make sure yung sa side ng digital platforms po namin are accessible. Ayun. Wait. I try to recall po yung question ni Miss Catherine. Wait po. Um, other collaboration with other organizations at the moment. Ayun po, I think yun lang po yung masasagot ko dun. Kasi siguro I'll be able to handle more further. But yun, I think um ayun, I think yun lang po. Wala po akong masyadong masagot dun sa question ni Miss Kat in terms of the partnership. So, maybe meron po, but probably I'm not aware since yeah, it's probably um hindi pa po ako nandun sa part ng level na I can really talk with the higher stakeholders po within the organization. Ayun. I hope I answer your question, Miss Kat.
Yeah, yeah. Oo, sige. Sige, I'm curious din, Weng, kung meron, sorry, nagpatay mo na ako ng, ng video kasi medyo mahina rin yung internet. Kung meron kayong ginagawa or um, steps to make sure na updated kayo sa mga accessibility standards, no? So for example, last year 'di ba nilabas yung Wika 2.2. So how do you make sure na continuous yung uh, improvements nyo in terms of implementing accessibility standards within your organization?
I think dun po sa network namin, dun sa DAC network within the organization, So we try to make sure na updated po kami. For example nga po yung with the VGAG 2.2. So we set up like monthly um sessions then like what you're doing with the committee with the mga bago. So I think last April with probably I think it's January or February we set a session on what's new with WGAG 2.2. So for the next months naman may mga sessions naman kami like how to make more inclusive um, designs. Like ano siya, hindi lang siya from Manila but for the whole organization na different champions across the organization. So, nag-a-attend nung sessions na yon. So, we make sure na um the network make sure na updated din talaga lahat ng champions across the organization dun sa mga new parts. So, ayun. I think yung network yung nagiging um, sila yung parang kami yung bahala mag-provide sa inyo ng mga athletes. Parang ganun.
Medyo choppy. Pero ulitin ko lang yung sinabi ni Weng, to make sure na tama yung intindi natin. So, sinasabi mo na to make sure na updated kayo, yung mga champions of different programs, I guess, they attend trainings or workshops or seminars or whatnots to make sure na updated sila. And then I'm guessing those champions are the people who disseminate yung mga updates. Tama ba?
Apo. And we try to invite other accessibility champions outside that organization. So kami responsible na maghanap ng mga magtotalk like accessibility champion from different schools din and from other organizations din na magbibigay ng talk about accessibility. And
Nice, nice. Sige. Okay. Gerson, you have a question? Wala kang sound.
I guess sa continuous maintenance and updates nung mga websites niyo. So yung mga features, how do you implement yung pag maintain ng accessibility ng website contents?
Ulitin mo na. Ayan.
in terms of name and sorry po naglalag ata po ako. Ayan. I think it depends po dun sa project. For example, kasi yung project ko na refinement, spring refinement, so we try to include din yung pag-add ng accessibility requirements dun po sa discussion. And I think if there are any major update po sa existing, so we make sure na yung mga accessibility champion on each team are ano po, parang ini-inform nila yung team during the discussion na kulang tayo ng accessibility requirement. So we should include this or ano yung mga need natin na scenarios or criteria para maging accessible siya. So that happens on our ano po on our team then, and we're trying to make sure na yung ibang teams then outside ng pinaka team ko po from academic, ginagawa din nila para hindi rin sila mahirapan na um, hindi rin sila mahirapan na parang pag nasa testing na, saka lang sila mag-iisip ng ano ba dapat yung scenarios na nandito, which is dapat during refinement or parang during planning pa lang ng functionality or dapat sa design pa lang while designers are doing the prototypes, na-include na nila yung accessibility requirements. Ayun po. Sana hindi po ako nag-lag.
Oh, mas okay. Yeah. May pahabol ako na question about din sa ano ng team niyo. Ikaw lang ba yung nag-exam ng CPAC for within your team?
Yes po. I think from the Manila office, ako, as far as I know, ako pa lang po. Overall po ata, tatlo pa lang po kami. Pero yung isa po kasi doon is was, ano
Okay.
na po siya, si PWA na. Tapos yung
Wow.
isa po is sipak din. Tapos ako po, ayun, isa, bago na po, pangatlo na po ata ako. Kasi chinek ko po yung list of passers din. So, from Cambridge, parang tatlo pa lang po kami. From ano po, yung sa side po ng ng organization not the university. Kasi iba pa din po yung university sa amin. So,
Mhm. Okay.
Ay, sorry, balik tayo dun sa dun sa process. So, nabanggit mo kasi kanina parang nasa QA side ka ng team, right? Parang sa quality assurance. Um, Curious ako if how do you test for accessibility? Do you use ang tawag dun, assistive technologies to test? And siguro another question would be, do you also have testers who have disabilities or people or testers with disabilities to verify kung tama yung implementation or etc. Yeah.
I think with the organization, specifically po sa team namin, we don't have testers na may disability. But yung mga testers or yung mga QEs namin, QA QEs namin, we're using different assistive tools like JAWS, and VDA. We also have voiceover. We also try to use voice recognition sa mobile. So we do mobile testing as well. But selected lang po yung nagmo-mobile kasi syempre limited lang po yung mga gadgets. And ayun, need mo po kasi i-set up yung phone mo na mababalik mo siya sa dati. So, unti-unti lang po yung parang nakakabisado pa po ng part ng mobile. But in terms of the desktop, ayan, aware po yung mga ka-team ko kasi we try to train them as well. Like mga pa-monthly-monthly namin na KT sessions before and different ways of doing the testing. And we also have this basic checklist na we try to make sure it's updated. So, ayun po. And we use also, we try to complete din yung mga free tools like yung mga extensions from Chrome, yung mga accessibility insights for web, app dev tools, web A, not web A. It's the
Wave.
Wave tool.
Ay, wave.
Ayun po. So, we try to make sure na ginagamit namin sila. Like, yung kung ano yung pinaka um, okay sa kanila. Kasi di ba po iba-iba naman yung waves, the accessibility insight. Like, in terms of the usability, iba pa din po. And we also try to include it on our automation test. So, we're not only doing it on our manual testing, so we also include it on our automation test. Like we integrate libraries sa automation namin that checks accessibility sa page automatically, and we try to review those issues na may kita nung automation or nung automated runs, and we try to assess those results po. Ayun.
Thank you. Yan. I'm very curious ako dun how you do the testing. Okay, go Jerson. Meron ka ba? Follow-up.
Ano naman tayo sa mga social responsibility and ethics. Sa perspective mo, ano yung mga ethical and societal obligations for organizations, not just in the Philippines, but siguro worldwide or global, to prioritize accessibility in both digital and physical environments.
Okay po. I think if I think sa mga countries like part of the European countries, sa Canada and America, and siguro other countries din na needs to be compliant dun sa different laws. Kasi di ba meron po tayong mga different laws like yung procurement laws na yun yung laws na min-make sure na yung mga products natin are accessible or nagko-compliant dun sa accessibility standards. Puro laws na po kasi, like yung EN 301549, yung policy section 508, and we also have different, so, mga different laws like yung UDHR, CRPD, and we have different laws in terms of physical environments like yung sa mga domains, specific laws na dapat accessible in terms of the travel, yung sa mga transportation, and also yung mga national, provincial instrument on disability rights na that requires na yung mga countries nila, yung mga countries na yon na yung mga products nila are digital and physically accessible sa mga users natin. So I think in terms of our organization, we wanted to make sure na nakapag-comply kami doon. Of course, we don't want na mabigyan kami ng lawsuit, magbayad kami ng kamahal-mahal dahil hindi kami nakapag-comply. And just thinking na yung organization namin is learning school, it's part of the university, and yung mga students doon are different kinds of people, mga may disability, and I think yung mga teachers, the mga professors, admins, etc., we don't know din naman if how they are doing then in terms of their life. So, I think yun po yung siguro maganda sa organization namin that they really support and acknowledge din yung accessibility talaga sa organization and sa university itself. So, ayun. Yun siguro yung maganda din. Kaya po siguro nagtagal din ako sa organization. Ayun. So, I hope I answer your question, Sir,
Iba rin
Gerson.
talaga
So,
kapag supported ng management yung advocacy towards accessibility. Kasi kahit
opo.
mag-pursue yung mga members, yung mga siguro kahit managers or mga devs, kung hindi supported ng higher ups, ng management, ng admin, mahirap na siyang o kaya sabagay kung admins naman yung merong initiative, wala naman talagang choice yung mga nasa yung mga employees but to implement it. Pero I think best talaga if both sides are kumbaga on the same page when it comes to accessibility. Supported ng management, ng admins, and then yung mga employees are also willing and merong enthusiasm pagdating sa implementation ng accessibility. Mas nagiging I guess smoother yung process. Ayan.
Yes, so I think, I agree po dun sa sinabi ni Sir. Ayun, kasi I think if hindi din supported ng organization, like any initiative from the small group po na we have. For example, I have initiatives po within my team. Tapos hindi sinuport ng medyo higher up po sa akin. How much more po yung pinaka-initiative ng DAC network to make sure na yun nga po na accessible dapat or we're updated din sa mga ganap in terms of accessibility. If hindi rin po supported yun, parang, hin, parang ano lang din, useless din na mag-push din yung mga tao. And kasi naalala ko din yung share ni Miss Kat before na nag-talk po kayo sa amin. I think it's Target po, di ba? Target po ba yun? Nabanggit mo
Target.
dun?
Yeah.
Yung nabigyan ng lawsuit. So, ito nag-a-alarm. Ayun, may nag-alarm po, sorry.
Okay lang.
Ayun, naalala ko po kasi, yung sa target na nabanggit ni Miss Kat na millions, millions yung lawsuit na need nilang bayaran. So, knowing na, yun nga po, si Cambridge din, nasa UK, so mayaman. Pero, ayun naman nila na magiging cost yun para, yun nga po, diba, mabawasan sila. I mean, in terms of the income of the company, and the organization, and the university itself. So, ayun. Yun lang po.
Pagdating talaga sa business, I think isa sa biggest factors ng decision is yung I guess sa bottom line, which is yung revenue. Kasi aside from mababawasan yung or not necessarily mabawasan but hindi ma-meet yung full potential ng ng earnings or ng revenue because of accessibility. Meron pang uh, um, ways na ma-affect sila like yun nga mga lawsuits. So magbabayad sila ng fines set by the judge, tapos they have also to pay legal fees and siguro settle din dun sa nag-file ng lawsuits, di ba?
And addition, gastos rin if they need to remake the website nila or their digital product mismo. I-remake nila, additional cost yun for them. Kasi, di ba?
Not necessarily remake, but the judge would usually always tell them na make your website accessible.
Mm.
Yeah. So kasama yun
Yes,
sa
po. And I think,
part ng settlement.
sorry.
Sige,
I
sige.
think in terms
Go.
of public relations, yung status po ng organization mismo in terms of public relations with other, for example, with other organizations, then I think hindi na okay in terms of credibility din and trust na yung website niyo pala hindi accessible. So, bakit kami ay din ganyan parang ganito. So, mawawalan din ng customer yung isang organizations. There's I'm so sorry, umuulat din ba? Hindi ko alam. Ayan. So, yun po, I think hindi magiging maganda yung credibility ng isang organization din
Yeah.
if they
Basically,
didn't comply.
Go.
yeah, basically it's a PR nightmare kapag nabigyan ng spotlight yung ganong issue, 'di ba? I mean, dito sa Philippines pa lang maraming mga businesses yung hindi rin naman talaga nagko-comply sa mga ganyang laws. Pero parang wala lang kasi wala pa yung spotlight sa kanila dun sa ganong klaseng issues or shortcomings pagdating sa accommodation ng people with disabilities. And actually hindi lang naman talaga people with disabilities yung affected ng or yung nagbe-benefit sa accessibility, pero lahat talaga ng tao nagbe-benefit doon. Yung PWDs lang talaga yung kumbaga sa kanila kasi essential yun, di ba? Essential yung accessibility. Pero uh, kapag in-implement yun ng isang company or isang organization, lahat yan ng clients nila nagbe-benefit dun sa effort na yan. So hindi lang kasi baka yung iniisip nila only a small um, percentage of their customers are going to benefit. Pero I guess isa yun sa mga misconceptions. Kasi yung accessibility nagbe-benefit talaga dyan lahat eh. Hindi lang naman people with disabilities. Yeah.
Yan. So, dagdag ko lang, nabanggit kasi ni Weng kanina yung mga laws. No? I'm assuming kasama yan sa CPAC exam. Joke. Pero, what I want to say is that, uh, ang daming laws nga, international laws, na it would sound parang, sorry for the word, pain in the ass for some people. Pero sa in my perspective right now, naiinggit ako sa mga countries na may ganun ka-strict na laws. Because here, meron naman, for sure. Pero parang hindi fina-follow and unfortunately, hindi rin ganun ka-streamline, no? Very recent, share ko na din dahil close to my heart tong issue na to. As in today lang, kaninang umaga, nagkaroon ng rally yung Filipino deaf community dahil apparently may mga tinanggal na deaf people in a certain position. May mga tinanggal doon. So, and parang ang lumalabas parang in danger yung FSL or Filipino Sign Language. So, yung deaf community nagrally sila kanina and hopefully no may outcome, may magandang outcome yun. But gusto ko lang sabihin na dumadating sa ganung point na talagang um, hindi binibigyan ng importance yung people with disabilities here in the Philippines, unfortunately. Kaya ang ganda nung organization na napuntahan mo when wherein they actually really support people with disabilities, no? And bukod sa yun nga, bukod sa people with disabilities, yung accessibility naman talaga benefits everyone. It's just a little sad. Dahil nabanggit mo yung mga laws kanina, napaisip tuloy ako, nasan ba yung laws namin? Asan ba yung laws dito sa Philippines? Bakit kanina kinailangan pang mag-rally ng deaf community? Wala bang protection sila for that? Parang ganun. So, yun, medyo madramang, tawag dito, insight lang. Yan. Yun. Sige, moving on. Sorry.
Ako, I think sa Philippines po, meron lang tayong law in terms of special education. Pero in terms po mismo, like, to make sure na yung mga platforms in the Philippines are accessible, I think yun po yung wala.
Yeah.
Ewan ko, out of nowhere po, nakakapagbasa po ng mga SPED, special education na mga laws, which is parang, hala, ito inaaral ko nun na. Tapos, parang nakaka-relate po ako kasi yun nga, parang, yun nga na, nabanggit ni Miss Kat, nakakaigit na meron sila. Tapos sa atin wala. Ayun.
So, yung isa kong naalala from one of our previous sessions na kumbaga sinearch ko very quickly. Meron tayong laws related sa accessibility pero super general niya and I think napasa to nung hindi pa masyadong sikat ang internet. Kaya yung scope hindi siya specifically referring to online assets or digital assets. So medyo generic siya na kumbaga place of business or parang ganun. Hindi niya in-specify na kasama yung digital assets or yung online assets like websites or online stores, yung mga ganun. Kaya siguro marami pa ring mga even government agencies. I'm sorry to say while merong awareness sa kanila na dapat accessible ang mga websites ng government. So marami pa rin talaga yung hindi accessible.
Hindi pa.
Yeah. So there's a lot of work to be done. Yeah. So yan, Weng. What advice could you give sa mga organizations na starting to consider implementing accessibility sa kanilang websites or digital assets?
Siguro, yung isa po sa nabibigay ko sa kanilang advice is i-build yung skill set ng mga employees nila. Like, they can hire, in terms of the recruitment, like mag-hire sila of accessibility expert na mag-training sa mga staff nila para yung mga staff na matituruan or matitrain, they can build their own skill set then, like in terms of accessibility testing, development, also with the design and the content, siguro like in PDF or yung in creation of ng mga alt text. Kasi if pag sa startup ko siguro mahirap talaga makahanap like i-build mo siya from the scratch. lalo na if yung management hindi pa aware of those accessibility. Pero, yun nga, siguro check din if uh, kung yung organization mo is under those countries na need maging compliant kasi po for example with sa Philippines hindi naman ganun din nabanggit nga din po kanina hindi siya ganun wala pang importance at this moment. So for example yung organization mo is sa UK or sa America or Canada may mga laws sila na kailangan maging compliant. So, dun po siguro mas need i-push yung accessibility din. So, ayun. And I think one po sa mga advice ko rin is look for people na merong passion and commitment din to pursue accessibility. Kasi baka mamaya, tinrain mo sila. Pero for me kasi yung tingin ko pag accessibility, dapat empathetic ka na tao. Kasi you're putting yourself dun sa position nila. For example, pag nagte-test ako, syempre hindi po ako gagamit ng mouse kasi I'm putting myself dun sa mga tao na nagki-keyboard. So something like that po. So kung hindi sila committed or wala yung commitment dun sa tao na tinitrain nila, parang magiging useless or parang ginagawa lang nila yung job nila for the sake of binigay po sa kanila, parang ganun. And siguro, ano po, isa din is look for partnership. Like, for example, yung sa community po sa Philippines. And yun nga po, I'm so happy na nahanap ko nga rin po kayo kasi dati naghahanap po ako sa meron kaya accessibility dito sa Philippines sa pwede kong salihan. Kaya po, I'm so happy na naka-join ako kasi at least may nakita akong mga tao na tulad ko din po na empathetic din in terms of our users na in terms of design, yan si Miss Kat at si Sir Jerson in terms of development, and siguro ako po in terms of testing, na before we share to the users yung products natin, isa tayo sa mga tao na magsasabi na hindi accessible yan, no, balik natin. Mga ganun po kasi, syempre, expensive pag lumabas na eh. So, parang ganun po. And siguro look for organization na nagbibigay ng importance din. Kasi if may mga initiatives ka, and I think may mga ka-team po ako na nandito sa call, alam po nila yun na pag may mga initiatives po ako, supportive din sila and yung management din namin. Ayun. And siguro in terms of like personal or soft skills siguro po, be patient din kasi learning accessibility like testing, development, and design is mahirap din talaga kung tutuusin. Pero dahil gusto mo yung ginagawa mo and you want to be part of it talaga, so kaya lang din siya dumadali. But yeah, it really took me years to make sure na I can say na yung mga sinasabi ko ay may totoo naman mga ganun in terms of credibility, naniniwala or they trust naman yung mga sinasabi ko. I hope so. Pero ayun, kaya good thing din na may mga certification din na para pag may sinabi ka, masasabi na, dahil may certificate dito, it means alam niya yung sinasabi niya. Ganun po. Kaya I really push po to take the certification din. Ayan, para masabing professional talaga ako sa accessibility, not just, someone lang na doing initiatives po, parang ganun. So, ayun po.
Sobrang ganda nung nasabi mo na hindi lang ah, na dapat yung gagawa ng accessibility meron talaga siyang passion and also empathetic sa mga tao na i-serve niya kasi kung I mean anyone I guess anyone can do it yung pag-implement ng accessibility like you can have literally just a list of things na pwede mong i-double check against dun sa website mo and then you can call it accessible pero iba yung meron ka talagang passion and advocacy towards it kasi you're putting your shoes into the parang perspective ng someone who is going to use your product, who is going to use your website, na uh, merong mga barriers na na-encounter every time. So, yeah, very important yung ganun. So, for organizations, make sure you look for people who empathize with others at saka yung may passion pagdating sa helping others talaga. Ayan.
Agree. Ayan. So, may question ka ba bago ko basahin yung question sa chat?
Wala naman. May isang, sige, yan na muna yung.
Sige. So, from Jehan, sabi ni Jehan, nag-engage ba kayo with government agencies to possibly implement web accessibility training sa mga government websites?
I think sa organization po namin, parang hindi po. We don't engage po siguro with government. But in terms po sa mga trainings, we try to partner po dun sa mga companies na nagbibigay po talaga ng training. For example, with DQ University, All Able, and nakalimutan ko pa po yung isa. Or dun po sa mga products like Userway, kasi meron din po sila na nagbibigay ng mga trainings, ganun. So, I think, depende po like yung government agencies, may iba po ata kasi yung way of accessibility training nila. Baka sila po more on, iba po yung scope nila dun sa scope ng isang project. Parang ganun. Pero yun nga po sa organization namin, as far as I know po, hindi pa po kami na nakakapag-engage with government agencies so far. I hope I answer po your question.
So, yeah, we still have a few more minutes. Baka meron pa kayong question kay Weng. You can chat here, dito sa Zoom, or if you're in the live session sa ating group, yeah, pwede nyo i-chat din doon yung inyong question. Ayan, si Keen or Kine. Keen ba yan? Sabi niya, Sir Gerson said something interesting. I'd like to bring an accessibility, Kine. Okay. I'd like to bring an accessibility initiative to my company, but we are still small and getting buy-in is a challenge. Oh, I'd like to ask what could I and my team could do to set up a good basis. Tama ba? Yan, with limited resources and buy-in. Yan. So, go, Weng.
Siguro po, tulad ng ginawa ko din po sa team namin, kasi dati one-month team lang din po ako and eventually lumaki na rin po yung accessibility team sa amin. So how I started it po is I tried to look for official website ng accessibility. I think it's WebAIM W3C. May mga list po sila doon kung ano yung parang in terms of how to start accessibility testing, for example po, or um, anything related to accessibility. May mga listahan po sila in mga definition or ano ba, like, they will help you po, like, in terms of kung paano mo masisimulan po yung accessibility initiatives po with that team. Ganon. And I think in terms of yung mga initiatives, I think before presenting it po, like, para ma-approve siya or something, you need to make sure na complete po yung resources mo. Like, ma-validate mo po talaga yung initiative ng company um, para in case man po na may gusto kayong bilhin ng mga products, like, mga monitoring tools, ma-provide po nila sa inyo. Ganun. And I hope I answer for your question. Baka na nalito ko po yung sarili ko sa binasa ko.
Pwede din akong mag-share ng konti.
Sige po.
So, I've been with 2 startups. And dun sa dalawang startups na yun, tinry ko yung ipasok yung accessibility. Well, unfortunately, hindi siya success story, no? But what I did is I started with brown bag sessions or KT or yung knowledge transfers. So, very basic lang. What is web accessibility? Ano yung benefits niya? Tapos, dalawa kasi siya. So, yung isang startup is about telemedicine or yung online health na nauso nung pandemic, no? Mga online consultations. So, yung presentation ko, the way I presented it to the stakeholders, ay kung anong benefit niya in terms of the health business. So, syempre, health siya. Parang pinalabas ko na maraming tao ang may health problem. So, and with health problems can come, pwedeng partner siya with a disability. Di ba? So, yun. Dun ko siya parang pinlace. The other startup naman was an e-commerce startup. And doon ko din siya pinlace. Kumbaga, yung pinresent ko dun sa startup sa e-commerce company na yon is how consumers would benefit dun sa accessibility. So, kunyari, sinasabi ko na hindi naman, may mga people with disabilities na gusto sanang bumili ng something but they can't because hindi accessible sa kanila yung website na to. So, very simple. For example, yung color contrast. O, tas, ang ginawa ko, nag-screenshot ako ng screen namin, ng e-commerce website namin. And then, inano ko siya, ginawan ko siya ng iba-ibang version na with different color blindness, tawag doon, basta yung iba-ibang color blindness. So nakita nila na, oh, hindi pala kita yung button namin kasi hindi pala siya enough contrast. So yung mga simple na ganun, at kahit hindi success story itong kinikwento ko dahil hanggang ngayon hindi pa rin sila accessible, somehow, parang nabigyan na sila ng idea about it. So yun yung i-share ko kung paano siya pwedeng um, i-present or paano yung pwedeng ipagtanggol yung need for accessibility in your organization. Yeah. Yun. I hope that helped then.
Sige. May konti rin siguro akong ano. Uh, yung masasabi ko is more on the side ng development, no? Um, hindi naman talaga kailangan na parang sobrang expert ka na agad or mag-aral ka muna ng 6 months to 2 years bago mo ma-implement yung accessibility. I think in one of our very first sessions, meron tayong binigay na checklist din at saka yung very simple ways on implementing accessibility na hindi kailangang expert level developer ka. Yun nga yung simpleng pag-check lang ng color contrast, di ba? You just click a tool and it will tell you kung okay yung color combinations na ginamit mo. So kung hindi okay, so you find another color pair para gamitin. So yung ganung mga simpleng ano lang, simpleng bagay na kayang-kayang implement kahit nung non-coding developer, kumbaga, parang ganun. Or mga designers sa team. So may mga ganong steps na pwede na nating i-implement right away na we don't really need to convince yung mga nasa higher ups na ano na hingi pa tayo ng approval to implement this. So yung even doing the best practices kung developer ka, just implementing semantic HTML um, yung area kahit nga hindi ka pa masyadong ano doon hindi ka pa masyadong um, knowledgeable or aware doon. Kumbaga, you can study it of course and implement it little by little. Pero yung uh, you don't have yung point ko talaga, you don't have to wait or you don't have to um, be an expert para lang makapag-influence ka sa sa organization mo. So by just doing it yourself, yung mga ganong small steps, small things, yun ma-affect mo na yung accessibility ng products ninyo. Meron pang isang basa kong question dito. From Paulo, may upcoming collaborations or initiatives po ba that you're particularly excited about?
I think meron sa team namin. Kasi yung team namin nag-undergo na rin ng mga external audits. So we have this initiative or plan to do the audit in-house. So bali kami ano ba, magte-train kami, di ba? Kami pala yung iti-train to do like yung proper testing talaga, like how auditors do the audit. But we still have the external audit to sila yung magbibigay sa amin ng credit na pasado kami. But we wanted to make sure na yung skills ng um ka-team namin, like in terms of testing and remediation or fixing the issues, na mas nagiging strong within the organization, within the team. So yun, we wanted na in-house na yung audit sa amin. So yun, excited ako dun kasi syempre, parang aside from testing yung regular na project na tinetest ko, may something pa, like pwede akong maging auditor. Like, for example, gusto kong hindi na ako magiging QA after few years. Gusto ko na lang maging auditor, accessibility audit, mag-audit. So, another skill set siya for me. So, ayun. I think small things makes me happy. Like, doing mobile accessibility testing sa mga app, which is hindi pa ganun ka-stable or hindi pa siya ganun napapractice within the organization. So, it's something new na ako ulit na magpa-pioneer, something like that. So, yeah, I'm excited sa mga initiatives ko and buti na gagawa naman. So, ayun, hopefully magawa namin yung internal audit process. So, that's it.
Galing. Anything else? Pwede pang humabol. May 2 minutes pa. Pero may ipapakita rin kami afterwards. Ayan. Meron pa ba? May questions pa?
Last question ko for Weng. Pwede ka mag-share ng insights or lessons na natutunan mo dun sa journey mo towards accessibility na tingin mo is magiging valuable sa ibang organizations when considering implementing accessibility? Ano yung mga natutunan mo?
Siguro yung major po na pwede kong ma-share is may mga times talaga na may mga ano ba yun? Yung mga initiatives mo po, like, kasi want mo pong i-push yung accessibility sa team mo, na pwede siyang ma-reject for now. Pero if you try to push it and parang i-prove mo sa team, sa management na kailangan natin to, parang ano siya, nagiging fulfilling yung feeling. May parang mga ganun. Parang nakakataba siya ng puso na ina-accept siya paunti-unti ng community or ng organization yung initiative na ginawa mo. I think yun yung natutunan ko na be patient na if you wanted to start, for example, sa mga startup companies na may mga accessibility initiatives, like one step at a time lang then like build your skill set, try to make sure na you have the resources para dun sa accessibility initiatives nyo, and then parang pa isang step lang din hanggang sa yun na rin talaga yung accessibility. Kasi hindi siya yung, ayun, stable na naman ako. Ilan ba? Ayan.
Okay, parang
Kasi na-feel ko po like, ayan, I try po kasi to see accessibility na like how society accept them na hindi agad-agad din na-accept ng mga tao may yung mga users with disabilities, 'di ba po? So ganun yung thinking ko na for now, feeling ko isa ko sa kanila na kailangan kong isa-isahin, like i-prove sa kanila na ito yung makukuha natin out of it hanggang sa matanggap na nila. It may take like sa end ko, I think para ma masabi ko na mature yung accessibility sa team namin. Ayun. So, one step at a time and be patient po. So, yun po yung pinaka-lesson learned ko po, sir. Ayun.
Thank you very much. May questions pa ba tayo? Wala na. Ayan. Sige.
So, 7:31. Ayan, go, Jerka.
So, manghingi lang kami ng feedback. Actually, this is from Weng. So she wants your feedback kung yung present niya is meron kayong natutunan or meron kayong mga napulot na mga uh, lessons or anything that you can share sa kanya. It's literally 2 questions lang itong nasa feedback. Tama ba, Weng?
Yeah.
Yep.
3 na po.
Ay, 3 na pala.
Okay.
3 na po.
So, yeah, very quick lang yan. So, yan. Just to show our appreciation to Weng. So, let's fill out this feedback form. Scan nyo lang yung QR code or I guess
Yung
nasa
link
chat
ay
yung
nasa chat.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Kat. And we would like to present this virtual certificate of appreciation to our guest speaker, si Rowena Calata, for your invaluable insights and contributions to our discussion on web accessibility. So, awarded this 31st of May, 2024, signed by yours truly and Kat Perez-Wan. So, Weng, thank you for sharing your valuable time and insights with us in this community. And we hope na marami pang organizations yung mag-follow sa steps ninyo and mag-take ng initial steps toward inclusion and accessibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
And looking
po.
forward to part 2. Another, isa pa ulit, Weng. Also, ayun. So, sinend ko rin sa chat if you guys want to get in touch with Weng if you have questions. Ayan. So, ilagay ko yung kanyang LinkedIn sa chat. Siyempre with approval from Weng yan. Ayan. Maybe pwede mo rin ipakita yung kanina, Gerson, yung QR for those who want to, yung sa page ni
If
Weng.
you want to join our community,
Ayan.
nandiyan yung mga QR codes, yung mga links na na-post ni
I will send again. Ayan. Send
sa
ko ulit
community
yung link.
or Facebook group. If you want to follow our Facebook page at saka if you want to vote on the topics na pwede nating i-tackle sa next na sessions natin dito sa Meetup. So we would really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for attending today's
Thank
Meetup
you.
and hope to see you again next month. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you, Weng. Happy weekend,
Thank
guys.
you.
Happy
See you
Friday.
around.
Maraming salamat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.